Namaste and good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Kathak Sangam, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our Saraswati Jayanti celebration this year. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge our specially invited guests, Chief Ricardo Hernandez of the First Peoples Association of Rima, Ms. Ramya Ajay of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Exchange, specially invited guests, parents, students, family, and well-wishers, and of course, the members of the executive of the Kathak Sangam. In today's program, it will be divided into two aspects. One of it is our Hawan, which was just concluded, as you all would have seen, and the second aspect is the celebration part, which we will begin shortly. And for the celebration part, we will have two MCs, Ms. Reshma Sitahal and Ms. Ranjana Rambachan.
We are now about to begin our program with our first item, entitled Sargam Geet. Geet, this is a composition that consists only of notes and no lyrics. It is based on a particular rag and set to a rhythmic pattern. What a wonderful performance by our little ones. The Kathak Sangam was founded by its artistic director, Dr. Satnarayan Balkaran Singh. At the Sangam, we aim to improve, develop, and maintain public education in an appreciation of the performing arts, dance, drama, song, literature, and the science of music in all its aspects. We also aim to educate and train in the arts, to nurture creativity and innovation so as to encourage artistic pursuit and excellence. We also provide support to other recognized organizations with similar aims and objectives. Our next item would be Saraswati Vandana. This is a description of the characteristics and attributes of Mother Saraswati, the presiding deity of learning and the fine arts, danced in Kathak style by Anilia, Vageshwari, Nirva, Ranjana, Santoshi, and Ariel. They will be accompanied by live musicians, Rohan on the harmonium, Komal on vocal, Manisha on tabla, and our chairman, Mr. Deepak Manohar, on the pakawaj.
शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्म अच्युत कयुत शङ्करा प्रभृतिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष धागे तित कृधा तित धागे तित कृधा धागे तित कृधा तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन धा तित कतगदिगिन धा
I can tell that you all enjoyed that performance very much. It gives me great honor to acknowledge the Dharmacharya of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Ramprasad Parasram. Namaste, and thank you for attending our program. We are deeply humbled. We are now changing the dynamic of our program a slight bit with a vocal rendition in Rag Bilawal by the Year 1 and Year 2 class of the Kathak Sangam. The singers will demonstrate the Aro, Avro, and Pakad of the Rag and sing for your listening enjoyment the Chota Khayal with the expert inclusion of Thans. The teacher, Ms. Sharda Maharaj, who is unable to be here, sends her best wishes. The singers are Deborah, Dion, Rebecca, Ashton, Santoshi, Ariel, and Nirva. They will be accompanied by Munisha on tabla and Rohan on harmonium.
God.
next item is a percussion item. It's a kaida in Tintal. This item is done by the young percussionists of the Sangam. They are enrolled in the foundation tabla course at the Sangam, which is aimed at introducing percussion to the younger students to be exposed to the classical arts. Performing this piece will be Vaishnavi, Ravisha, Arjun, and Mason, accompanied by the senior tabla students, Arya and Anelia. Conducted also by the tabla instructor, Mr. Deepak Manohar.
Dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Dha, dhin, dhin, da, dha, dhin, dhin, da. Da, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, da. Dha, dhin, dhin, da, dha, dhin, dhin, da. Da, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, da. Dha, din, din, da, dha, din, din, da, da, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, hin, da. Dha, din, din, da, dha, din, din, da, da, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, hin, da. Dha, din, din, da, dha, din, din, da, da, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, hin. Dha, din, din, da, dha, din, din, da, da, tin, tin, ta, ta, din, hin. Dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Da, dha, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Da, ta, tit, te, da, dha, tu, na. Tit, te, dha, dha, tit, te, ta, ta, tit, te. Dha, da, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Ta, ta, tit, te, dha, dha, dhin, na. Dha, dha, tit, te, dha. Dha, dha, tit, te, dha. Dha, da, tit, te, dha. Dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Dha, dha, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Tit, te, dha, da, tit, te, dha, da, tit, te. Dha, dha, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, dhin. Dha, da, tit, te, dha. Dha, dha, tit, te, dha. Dha, da, tit, te, dha. Dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha. Da, tin, tin, da, da, dhin, dhin, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Tit, te, dha, da, tit, te, da, da, tit, te. Dha, da, tit, te, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, dhin. Da, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha. Da, da, tit, te, dha. Dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha. Dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Dha, dha, tirikit, dha, da, tu, na.
Ta, ta, tirikit, dha, da, tu, na. Tirikit, dha, da, tirikit,
Dha, dha, tirikit.
dha, da, tirikit, dha, da, tu, na. Ta, ta, tirikit, dha, da, dhin, na. Dha, da, tirikit, dha. Dha, da, tirikit, dha. Dha, da, tirikit, dha. Dhin, dhin, dha, da, dhin, dhin, dha, da.
Tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha.
Da, da, tirikit, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tirikit, dha, da, tirikit, ta, ta, tirikit, dha, da, tirikit, dha, da, tu, na. Da, da, tirikit, dha, da, 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 tirikit, dha. Da, da, tirikit, dha. Da, da, tirikit, dha. Dhin, dhin, dha, da, dhin, dhin, dha. Da, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call Ms. Ranjana Rambajan, who will take you through the other half of the program.
Namaste. At this point in the program, it is my pleasure to welcome and to introduce to you the Dharmacharya, Dr. Ramprasad Parasram. Dr. Parasram has worn many hats throughout his lifetime. He has been a life coach, a guru, a teacher, a spiritual leader, a retired chief medical officer, a former chairman of a regional health authority, and a former director of another.
Sitaram, good morning. Thank you very much, Ranjanaji, for that introduction. And thank you, Kathak Kala Sangam, Dr. Balkaran Singh, Artistic Director, Chairman, Secretary, and other members of the executive for extending to me this invitation to come and spend a little time with you. It's my absolute pleasure to be here. Round of applause to the Kathak Kala Sangam for encouraging these very, very young children taking part in the arts. And I also want you to give an applause to the parents and the guardians of these children who make the effort to make sure that they attend classes. And please do that. I think we need to really thank people. I say to the mother, hey, Mate, oh, my mother, Mata Saraswati, Mama Jivagre, the tip of my tongue, Nrityatu, keep dancing on the tip of my tongue so that the words I speak and the things I do might be of benefit not only to me, but to everyone who listens to me. Kaka cheshta bako dhyanam swana nidra tathaivacha alpahari grihatyagi vidyarthi panchalaksharam. Yes? For students, that is, and indeed it's a reminder to myself, if we want to do justice to the fact that we claim to be servants of Mata Saraswati and that we pursue the arts and other things, we must develop certain qualities, kakachishta. The eyes of the crow, the discerning eye of the crow, who is flying at a high distance but would spot a morsel of food on the ground and suddenly swoop to pick it up, differentiate it from other things that the crow would not need. Yes? To kaka cheshta bako dhyanam, and the concentration of the crane, the bird, and you know, in legend, in poetry, and actually the science tells us that the crane has immense powers of concentration, so much so it can stand on one leg in the water almost still, and if a fish were to pass by, it could catch it, toss it up, open its beak, swallow it, all in one motion. To kaka cheshta bako dhyanam swana nidra. That we must also develop the habit of sleeping like a dog. Meaning that although the dog may be asleep or appear to be asleep, the dog is always alert. So if you go within its range, suddenly the dog would be alerted and the dog would awake. And you know the rest of the story, right? So, swana nidra tathaivacha alpahari. And to eat what is appropriate, but in small amounts. Of course, we could regard this as a parable as well, but we also know that Sanatana Dharma does not prescribe gluttony and overeating. And we also know from scientific evidence that it is good that the student should have small, balanced, nutritious meals at all times. So alpahari, grihatyagi, the concept of renouncing the home, meaning that one should live with the teachers, do satsang, stay in ashrams, but also that one should not be so domesticated that one only sees that little home as your entire universe, because there's much to achieve. To grihatyagi vidyarthi panchalakshanam. So I would say this, pleading my ignorance about the great goddess, the mother of the universe, whom I worship still and seek guidance from. I thought I'd just give some pointers to the students. And also, I'd like to wish you all very, very well in your future endeavors. I want to congratulate you for what you have done. And I want to encourage you to do more and keep striving for excellence.
We thank the Dharmacharya for his enlightening address. Our next item will be performed by the newest member of the Sangam, Komal Maharaj. Komal studied Shastriya Sangeet, which is Indian classical music, for over 15 years under the tutelage of Professor H.S. Adesh.
मैं आपके सामने राग भैरवी प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूँ। पूज्य गुरुजी मुझे आशीर्वाद दीजिए। जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती वेद्यावर दान भगवती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती साधना हो फलदायिनी साधना हो फलदायिनी सत्प्रिया करे आरती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जय 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 सरस्वती जयति 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 जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती विद्या वरदान भगवती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय 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 सरस्वती जयति जय जयति जय जयति जय 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 सरस्वती.
At this time, I would like to call our wonderful artistic director and Guruji, Dr. Satnarayan Balkaran Singh.
Thank you, Reshma. Namaste. Welcome, everyone. Today's Saraswati Jayanti is particularly important, not that every other year was not important, but I have lost a very dear person to me, someone who has been responsible for my presence on the stage and who has been a teacher, a guru, a guide, a mentor, who I kept in touch with all the time, Pandit Birju Maharaj. When we mention such names, we touch our air as part of the respect. Today, this program, the entire program, apart from being the celebration of Saraswati, the goddess of learning and the arts, is dedicated to Pandit Birju Maharaj. And we would talk later on the influence he has had not only on me, on the Kathak Kala Sangam, but the influence he has had on Caribbean and Caribbean dance.
On the 17th of January 2022, the world was thrown into shock with the death of the illustrious Pandit Birju Maharaj, who is fondly referred to as Maharaj Ji. He was born into a family of Kathak masters and belonged to the Lucknow Gharana. Maharaj Ji was well known for taking Kathak to a wider audience. He started dancing at the tender age of 4, and he started his performances first with his father Shambhu Maharaj's concerts before performing solo at the age of 7 in West Bengal. In addition to performing the Kathak dance form, he also brought along knowledge of Hindustani classical music and percussion instruments. He was noted to have been able to sing the Thumri while dancing to it, and also playing instruments like tabla and the dholak. His Kathak performances, in addition to mythological stories, had contemporary elements, including stories from daily life and social issues being communicated by the way of dance. His Ginti Kitihais, which means charged and percussive phrases repeated thrice to end with explosive effects, were noted to have been studied by Kathak students. He collaborated with other artists, including the tabla player Zakir Hussain and singers Rajan and Sajan Mishra. Joining our artistic director, Dr. Sat Balkaran Singh, on this performance is Srimati Pooja Malhotra. Srimati Pooja Malhotra began dancing at the age 4 under her first guru, the late Sri Chamandal Kanha. She continued to study and now holds a Master's of Arts degree in Kathak, a Master's of Arts in Economics, and a Bachelor's in Education. In 1980, she joined the world-famous Kathak Kendra and studied Kathak under Guru Srimati Reba Vidyarthi for 11 years. In 1991, she pursued a postgraduate diploma in Kathak under the guidance of Padma Vibhushan, the living legend of Kathak, Pandit Sri Birju Maharaj.
Pooja and I are talking about the contribution of Pandit Birju Maharaj, Maharaj Ji as we call him, his contribution to Kathak classical dance, the Kalka Binda Din Gharana or school of dance of Lucknow, and how he has influenced the world in the world of Kathak classical dance, the Caribbean and Trinidad. But more than that, how he taught us. I left the Kathak Kendra in 1976. And Pooja joined the Kathak Kendra.
In 1980.
So it's a long time difference. But we learned from Maharaji's uncle. I didn't learn directly from his uncle, and Pooja didn't learn, but there was a lady, Srimati Professor Reba Vidyarthi, who taught us first before we could have got into Maharaji's class. Maharaji's method of teaching. Maharaji wanted us to be artists, performing artists. So when you stood on the stage, he would tell you, you must be in perfect upasthit position, heels together, toes apart, arala. Utpatti, your eyes are straight. And all your movements that you did on the right side, you would do it on the left side. Everything so that the bilateral symmetry of the body would be balanced. Right? His movements, he wanted the rounded movements to be very rounded and the sharp movements to be sharp. Right? Where the eyes went, where the hands went, the eyes followed. And where the eyes went, the mood was formed.
And it is very sad that he's not with us today. He never called me with name. He never called me Pooja. He always told, okay, Guriya, come up. That was my name for Maharaji's class. If I was not in the item, what he's producing, I used to sit down and watch. Guriya, what you doing? Maharaji, I'm watching, I'm observing. Okay. Next day, some piece of the music is missing. He used to look at me and I used to start reciting the da, 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 da. I'm unaware of rags. I was unaware of sur. But as soon as he used to say da, da, he used to catch up the music. He says, what I like, which I think nowadays, she will also agree with me, students, what they are lacking is in observation. They don't want to sit and observe. They want to dance. Yes. But what we call in Hindi is manan karna. That is always going to come from observing.
So many times Maharaji would go on the stage and he would say, मैं नहीं नाच रहा हूँ, मैं सिर्फ मनन कर रहा.
So, and it was so many times, I was a backbencher of the class. I wasn't a front bencher. But I made my place to the front bench with my dedication, with my observation. When he saw, okay, this girl is observing and she's doing manan, that is what he used to say, I'm lacking manan in my students nowadays. Not old days, but nowadays. So then he said, no, Guriya, you come in the front. No, Guriya, you will dance in this composition. There was one instance in Lucknow we went to perform, and it was a very abstract item about file, how the files are running in the government office. So there was one file.
There was another thing. Maharaji would look at what took place in life, and he would make all his dances and things for the students in life. He would tell us, you see where you stand on the stage, this is your canvas. And all your choreography, all your movements, your S's, he wouldn't say that, but your S's and your V's and your movements and your triangles, that you are painting the stage with that choreography. And therefore, this is what your audience is going to see. We'll say it together, and then Pooja is going to dance what Didi taught her, the same sound syllables, and I am going to dance what Maharaji taught. So we both know Didis, and we both know Maharajis, but to show you the difference, right, we will do. Teta kata gadi gena tha, din, din, da, da, din, din, ta, ta, din, din, ta, teta kata gadi gena tha, ta, ka, dunga, da, ge.
Hitta kire tha taka unga taki te taka tete kata gadi gin tha
Ta, din, din, ta, ta, din, din, ta, ta, din, din, ta, teta kata gadi gena tha, ta, ka, dunga, ta, ge, hi, ge, ta, da, hit, ta, hit, ta, kira, da, ta, ka, dunga, ta, ki, teta, ka, teta, kata, gadi, gena, tha, din, din, ta, din, din, ta.
ta din din tha tha din din tha tha din din tha tha din din ta tete kata gadi gin tha ta ka unga tha ge di ge ta tha teta teta kire tha ta ka unga ta ki te ta ka tete kata gadi gin tha.
These are differences. We would now do it together.
जाने दे मोहे हठो छेड़ो ना शाम जाने दे मोहे हठो छेड़ो ना शाम पैया पड़ूं तोरी बिनती करूं पैया पड़ूं तोरी बिनती करूं देखो साँझ भई देखो साँझ भई कैसे जाऊं अपनो गाँव जाने दे मोहे हठो छेड़ो ना शाम राह चलत आए घेर लई राह चलत आए घेर लई कछु सुनत ना मोरी अपनो ही करत है सुनत ना मोरी अपनो ही करत है लंगर ढीठ ब्रिज श्याम ना माने लंगर ढीठ ब्रिज श्याम ना माने दूंगी दुहाई चलो जसोदा जसोदा के धाम जसोदा के धाम जसोदा के धाम जाने दे मोने हठो छेड़ो ना शाम हठो छेड़ो ना शाम हठो छेड़ो ना शाम जाने दे.
Our next item is a piece entitled Kathak Nrit. There are three aspects of Kathak. There's Nrit, which is pure dance, Nritya, which is expressive dance, and Nrit Natika, which is drama. This item will present the Nrit and Nritya aspect of Kathak. In this item, you will be presented with pure movement, wherein the emphasis is in the beauty in motion, form, speed, range, and pattern, through the display of tukras, ghats, parans, and ending with a jugalbandi, which is where the dancers and the instruments will virtually speak to each other, and tatkar, a sequence of footwork. Our dancers for this item are Reshma, Pooja, and Dr. Satpal Karan Singh. They will be accompanied by live musicians Manisha, Deepak, and Rohan. Please welcome our dancers. At this point, I would like to welcome to the stage the director of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, Ms. Ramaya Ajay, to give her greetings.
Namaste one and all. Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidyarambam karishyami siddhir bhavatu me sada. Saraswati, who is known as the embodiment of knowledge, art, music and culture, we in India take her blessings every time we take a first step towards the world of education, art, music, and dance. This was a tradition we follow both in North India and in South India. In Northern India, we do it on Vasant Panchami, which marks the arrival of spring. In Southern India, we do it on Vijayadashmi. As you all know, it's Navaratri. So it's a tradition followed in almost all the institutes in India. And today, to see the same tradition in Trinidad makes me so happy. It's real honor to me to witness this tradition, which brings back all my memories which I went through from my childhood. I, being a dancer, I'm from Kalakshetra, a world-renowned dance institute in Chennai. I'm basically a Bharatanatyam dancer, and I have my teacher who is also a Bharatanatyam dancer, Ms. Sriranjani Umesh. She is our teacher in Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Center. So we have the same tradition. We have Saraswati Puja done a day before Vijayadashmi, where we are called to our institutes, we take blessing for our chalange, which is gunguru in Kathak. In Bharatanatyam, we say it as chalange. So we take the blessing for the chalanges, all the instruments, all the percussions which is used for performing is taken blessing from the Lord, who herself is the source of knowledge, what we all believe. And being a representative of Indian Cultural Center in Trinidad, it makes me great pleasure to be part of this occasion. I thank Kathak Sangam for inviting me to this event. And as you all know, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation was set up, as you all know, it's at Mount Hope, was set up under the Bilateral Cultural Exchange Program by the Government of India in 1997. We are here to felicitate Indian art and culture. As I was listening to them talking about Maharaj Ji, it reminded me when I was studying in Kalakshetra, we happened to have a workshop with him. So it brought back all the memories of Maharaj Ji, which makes me so overwhelmed with that form of teaching, because we have both Bharatanatyam and you have Kathak. So anytime, if that was possible, so we would be glad to do it. So thank you once again for having me here. And on this occasion, I pray the God that she blesses all of us with her knowledge of art, education, and music. Thank you.
This is an extremely auspicious occasion. On this occasion, we want to present a gift to the director of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute. Ma'am, I had indicated to you that I wrote a book, it's my fourth book. It is Ramleela in Trinidad. Copies just came 2 weeks ago. Right? It is 100 years of the Felicity folk theatre tradition. It's published in India, and it's partly a project of the government of India and myself. So on behalf of the Kathak Kala Sangam, please accept.
Before we have our final item, I'd like to invite our dear student representative, Anelia Baiju, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ranjana. I've been delegated a very important task this morning to deliver a vote of thanks for which I'm honored. Firstly, on behalf of the Kathak Kala Sangam, we wish to thank the Dhammacharya, Pandit Ramprasad Parasram, who honored this function with his inspirational thoughts, as well as Pandit Ramsundar Parasram for officiating Hawan and blessing our gungus and instruments this morning. Special thanks must be extended to all our guests for accepting our invitation to attend this year's Saraswati Jayanti festivities, especially Ms. Ajay, Director of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, and to Srimati Pooja Malhotra. We say thank you. At this time, I wish to recognize contribution of those who worked tirelessly to make this annual celebration a success. Credit must be given to our Master of Ceremonies, Ranjana, as well as Rishma, also to the executive and the staff of the KKS. Next, the Sangam would like to recognize and express a heartfelt thanks to our corporate sponsors. On behalf of the students now, we wish to thank our parents for your continued support and sacrifice, and to our respective teachers for your relentless effort, guidance, and encouragement. Last but not least, to our artistic director and founder, Dr. Satnarayan Balkaran Singh, for your vision to create an environment where students can learn and excel in the arts, and for creating a future generation for artists. We say thank you.
Our final item today is the very vibrant and colorful Rajasthani folk dance Ghumar. The choreography for this dance was done by Ms. Sri Rajani Umesh of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, and also with Dr. Satpal Karan Singh and Pooja Pandit of the Kathak Kala Sangam. The vocals of this track are done by Seema Mishra, and the music is by Ramlal Mathur. Our dancers today are Santoshi, Deborah, Ariel, Vageshwari, Shreya, Anelia, Arya, Vaishnavi, Ravisha, and Mila.